What does it mean to prepare communities to absorb expansive federal capital? To have community stakeholders actually at the table preparing for and implementing a clean energy future. To change the landscape of our rural environmental justice communities. A place like Beaver County has had a long connection to boom and bust cycles connected to all kinds of extractive practices that take things from our communities for the short term, utilize us until we're no longer valuable, and then leave us behind. One of the super exciting and visionary things that the Biden administration did at the outset was to call out environmental justice communities as an intentional site of federal investment. So for a place like Beaver County, that is a visionary and an empowering decision. We're actually following a national story about investment in communities who, for a really long time, have been left behind. The RISE project was actually formed to respond to this. RISE stands for Rural Innovation Through Solar Empowerment. And over the last 12 months, Riverwise, the PA Solar Center, and New Sun Rising have been hard at work with stakeholders throughout Beaver County, Pennsylvania, rapidly accelerating solar innovation in 7 rural environmental justice communities.
Riverwise and New Sun Rising were cooking up this idea to do a little bit of solar work in Beaver County. DOE prize was available, and because we are solar experts that work specifically with these organizations, it was a really natural fit.
Working alongside municipal officials, school administrators, clergy, nonprofit executives, and business leaders, members of the RISE team have carefully attacked each of the goals established for Phase 2 of the Energizing Rural Communities Prize. First, we have reviewed and formalized partnership norms for our growing coalition. Second, we have completed preliminary analyses of over 129 potential solar sites that have the combined ability to generate over 24.6 megawatts of rural solar energy, representing an estimated $74 million in rural energy savings over a 25-year period. Third, we've engaged in extensive outreach and education with over 250 identified property owners. Fourth, we've generated 37 solar feasibility studies for sites demonstrating the most promise and willingness to undertake a solar project. Fifth, we've conducted an ongoing education, marketing, and storytelling campaign aimed at generating interest in the RISE project. Finally, we have worked with community projects to secure additional funding that will quickly bring identified projects to life. As a result of these efforts, we're excited to report that we now have 2 solar projects that are ready to go out to bid, with 4 more soon ready to do the same. 17 projects are rapidly moving through the due diligence stage, and an additional 125 prospects have been identified for future outreach. Additionally, we're proud to report that 4 projects we have been working closely with have already been able to raise nearly $1.5 million in funding. This includes a public high school, a municipal complex, a children's museum, and a community park. Almost all of that cash is now in hand, and when matched with various state and federal incentives, this will amount to nearly $3 million that we can begin deploying in August to move these visible demonstration projects to the construction phase. Looking just at these 4 sites alone, and saying nothing about the dozens of other projects we're also helping to accelerate, we have been able to generate nearly a 30-fold return on the $100,000 Energizing Rural Communities Prize we received just a year ago. If you add the lifetime savings in energy across these sites, which represents an estimated $2.85 million, that means we've turned our initial $100,000 Energizing Rural Communities Award into just shy of $5 million of investment and future savings. That's a 50-fold ROI on investment. It's safe to say that rural innovation through solar empowerment is now well underway in Beaver County, Pennsylvania. At each of these sites, community leaders are working hard to bring these projects quickly to life.
When you think about schools reinvesting with solar panels, there's the financial side and there's the academic side. For all of us, our finances aren't limitless in Beaver County. If we can put money into something long-term like solar panels, it's an investment that if we save on energy costs will then be reinvested into the school and into the community. That may mean another teacher that we can pay for. It may mean some remodeling or changes to the building that we can pay for, but those are things that we can do due to savings and not by asking the community for more money.
In my role as municipal manager, first and foremost, the driving is the economics. It has to make economic sense. It's taxpayers' dollars, and it's the fact that we're saving money. We believe that it'll offset approximately 90% of the building's energy. The study is showing that over 25 years, it would have a savings of approximately $430,000. Pays for itself. I think the catalyst will be the borough building. We can be a leader in spreading it, and that momentum builds. We may be able to generate the entire energy consumption for the community of Ambridge right here in Ambridge on our own property and rooftops.
So the thought is that we are going to be doing an array on a quarter of the roof, and it would be up on a canopy to allow us to use the full access to the roof because it's so beautiful up there. We would have enough energy from the solar array to power one exhibit, which we have identified as the kitchen. So we're having a teaching cooking kitchen on the second floor of the building, and we'd have some really good educational components to it. For kids, they're curious about how things work, how things happen, and I think if you don't see alternative ways of being, then you don't even know that it's out there and you can't be curious about it.
Daniel Rossi Keene of Riverwise contacted us about the potential of having solar panels at the cafe and would we be willing to do that. Of course, I said yes. A small town like this, a lot of the time we are so behind the times when it comes to technology or just anything that's innovative. Aliquippa is a space that deserves to be on the cutting edge of technology and sustainability, and having solar panels on the cafe, which is a space that the community comes to a lot, will be a great place for people to see what that actually looks like in action. Then, of course, having paneling in the park, there's so many opportunities and possibilities to directly help this community and the issues that are imminent right now.
So what would happen if we were awarded additional prize funds? Our plan is really very simple. It involves building on our success by continuing to support community projects in the following 4 ways. First, we will provide ongoing project management and technical assistance to the public high school, community cafe and park, municipal complex, and children's museum that have already been fully funded. Secondly, we will continue to provide education and technical assistance at more than 50 highly motivated sites where community members are working to go solar. Third, we will undertake continued outreach, education, and marketing aimed at prospecting new potential projects. And fourth, we will support additional identified projects in securing state and federal funding available for bringing their projects to life as well. Rural innovation can only come about with vision and with resources. Thanks to the Energizing Rural Communities Prize, residents of rural environmental justice communities in Beaver County, Pennsylvania, have been able to accelerate their vision and grow their resources to participate in a clean energy transition.
We literally do hold a lot of the power when it comes to what this community will look like in the future for our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And we're at a perfect time right now to start to take hold of that.
I think innovation is key. You have to keep growing and embracing the new technologies, and a lot of times, again, they make you operate more efficient.
People throughout this community send us their kids every single day. When you look at our youth, it tells them that we recognize the value of the future and we recognize the value of what this planet has to give to them.
I think if we didn't invest in solar in spaces like Beaver Falls, Midland, Ambridge, other places that have been historically marginalized, that's the definition of inequity.
With the ongoing support of the Energizing Rural Communities team, it's hard to imagine what another 12 months of work might bring about in our communities. The collaboration, the movement into equity, the innovation, the economic relief. All of these things and so much more are on our horizon here in Beaver County, thanks to the Energizing Rural Communities Prize. Please join with us in supporting yet another year of these exciting initiatives here in rural environmental justice communities in Southwest Pennsylvania.